Hello, my dear learners. How are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So, my dear learners, in today's class, we will discuss chapter number 5 of your book. Okay? So, in this chapter, first of all, we will see the chapter name of this. So, the chapter name is Interactive Statements in Python. So we will see about Python programmings in this chapter. Okay, I know in the previous class, like in class 6th and class 7th, we discussed this chapter. Okay, we discussed about how we create programming in Pythons and all these things. So in this class, as this is the 8th class. So in this class, we will see all these things in a detailed form. Okay, the topics are the same, but we will see each and every topic in a detail. Okay. So let's start this class. Let's see about what is Python programming. So in the previous class, we have learned about the basic concepts of Python, its function, operation, etc. Okay, so in the previous class, means class 7th, we discussed all these features, the functions and their operators. So in the previous lesson, we have learned about the conditional statement in the Python and its various types. Yes, in the previous chapter, means chapter number 4th, we discussed what are the conditions. According to the condition, the Python programming is working. Whatever the condition you are giving to that programming, the programming works on your function. Okay. So in this chapter, we will learn about iterative statements. What that? Iterative statements in Python. Okay. These statements are used when we need to repeat one or many statements a number of times. To understand the iterative statements, let us first understand the concept of looping. What's that concept of looping? So we can say looping means to repeat the same thing again and again until someone stops it. For example, when we play music in Windows Media Player, then at times we play it on the loop so that we don't have to play the song again and again. The song keeps on playing until we press escape key or end the loop. Okay, so looping means repetition. So we will see how these repetition work in this Python programming. Okay, so let's start. So we will start with iterative statements in Python. So statements that keep on repeating until a certain condition is true are called iterative statements. What statement? Iterative statements. Okay. These statements are also called repetitive statements. What it called? Repetitive statements. Okay, because they we can say comes in a fixed interval of time. Okay, so when the conditions became false, then the loop end. Of course, it is if the condition is true, then only this programming can work on. If the condition is false, then this programming stop. Iterative statements are also known as looping statements or loops. So let's see. So our looping statement is based on 3 values: initial values, test conditions, and step value. So these are the 3 values. We will see what are they. Okay. So each loop contains a variable known as control variables. Okay. In the beginning of the loop statements, we assign an initial value to control variable. Then we assign the final value to the variable, and then we give the steps value to the control variable. The value can be incremented or decremented by the given value of each steps to get a final result. Okay. Now we will see looping is clear to you. When one action is repeating, we can say repeating repeated, it's known as looping. Okay, so looping value also comes under initial value, test condition value, and a step value. So we will see about types of iterative statements. So in Python, there are 2 types of iterative statements. First is for loop, for loop and while loop. Let's see for loop and while loop is what is this? Okay, so for loop. So the for loop is used when we know how many times we have to execute the loop. Say in this loop means repetition. So in this thing, for loop, we know how many times, we know this, how many times we have to repeat this action. This loop is also called definite loop. What's it called? definite loop, because it can be comes at a definite interval of time. Okay, so we use different operators and function in the for loop. The syntax of for loop is, see, this is this is, we can able to say, you can write by this also and by this also. Okay, so this, in this also we can range final value, initial value, final value, and step value, we have to say, right? Okay, so for in for loop we know that how many times we have to execute the loop. Okay, so this thing we already know how many times we execute it. So this loop is also called definite loop. What it called? Definite loop. Okay, because in this we know how many times we can do, and this is, we can say, the syntax of this loop is this one. Okay, so let us understand the loops with the memberships operators, which play an important role in looping. So this is very important. There are two type of membership operators, that is in and in not. Let us learn about these operators. Okay, let's see. For flow chart for loop, this is the for loop chart. So here we can say, if the we can say, if the statement, if the condition is true, then only your programming can able to function. Okay, then if the statement is false, then only it cannot able to perform the function. Okay, then so we will see what is in and not in. Okay, so first we will see in operators. What is in operators? Okay, so see, in operators means this operators check if a given value exists in a sequence or not. Who check? In operators. So this operator check whether the given value is in a proper sequence or not. It turns the value to true if it find a specific value is in sequence. Okay, it can able to perform the function when they can see the value should be at a proper sequence, then only they can able to perform their action. Okay, or if it is not in sequence, so it return to false, means they cannot able to do. Okay, so the syntax is this one. We will see this thing. The example is given to you. So here, if you want to check whether number 9 is present in the sequence like this is a sequence. Here in this sequence, you want to see whether in this sequence 9 number is there or not. Okay, because it is the sequential. In operators used to for the sequence, to find the sequence of something. Okay, so we can say, I want to find in this numbering like this one. I will write it down for you. I am hoping it is clearly visible. So here I want to find in this number 9 is there or not. If it is there, then this programming can work. It is true. If it is not there, so we can write it false. Okay. So in this given example, the program check whether the number 9 exists in the given list or not. In this programming, what they check? The number 9 is there or not. If yes, then the operator will return to the true value, and otherwise it is false. If 9 is there, for example, if I'm talking about this value, 9 is not there, so it is false. And if I talk about this value, 9 is there, see, can you see it is mentioned true because the value is here. Okay. Second program is that write a program to let the value be entered by the user and check whether it is present in the range or not. See, in this, I want to see here also. These are the numbers. Here I want to see about what. Write a program to let the value to be entered by the user and check whether it is present in the range or not. See, in this, if I talk about in this range, it is present. See, it is also say it's true. Okay. So this is how we can apply it all. Okay, let us understand some new examples. In operator for the loops, let us give an understand with another example. See, here I want to see what here I want to see. See, these are the number. What these are the some even numbers. Can you see? And then if I apply in looping, see, they are in the proper sequence, because in looping is in looping is used to give the numbers in a proper sequence. So all these numbers are arranged because these are these all are the even numbers, so they can arrange in a proper order. Means from decreasing to increasing order. This is how we can able to use in operators. So it is in operators I use. How we use in operators in Python programming. Okay. Next, the range function. A range function. What does range function do? Okay. So the range function used for loop in a Python, it is used to generate a sequence of a number. What it generates? Sequence of a number in the form of a list. For example, range 8 will be generated a series of numbers 0 to 7. See, here I want to mention, here we will see a range function. Okay. For example, in the syntax we use initial value, final value. See, here also initial value, final value we can write like that. Okay. Or we can say step value. So here the initial value is the integers that specify the position from where to start. This is the initial value. Like I want to start from 2 to 10. So 2 is my initial value and 10 is my final value. So here initial value is the integers that specify the position where to start. The final value specify the end value. Okay, the final value specify the end value, and the step value specify whether it is incremented or decremented to reach the final value. What does step value suggest? They tell you about I want to move from 2 to 10. So then I will follow increment path because now I want increment in it. Okay, so this is known as, we can call it increment. Okay, so we can call, when we use the range functions, then the final value will be on less than or last value should be given in the sequence. See, this is the thing. The range is like 5 to 15. 5 is the initial value and 15 is the which value? Final value. And we can follow the increment step value in it. Okay, because you have to increase, we have to move on from increasing order like that if you want to reach on 50. See, these are the things, and it is like for that. Okay, so can you see here also it is true because this programming works on. So we can observe the above example that the initial value of a variable is 5 and the final value is 14, which is 1 minus 15 minus 1, because the total is 15 but the value starts from 5 to 14 only. Okay, 5 to 14 only. Okay, so we can call each time we run a loop the value is increased by 1, is increased by 1. For example, 5, after 5 it comes 6, after that 7, 8, 9, like this. Okay, so we can say, and the final value will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Only 14, one step before 15. Okay, the value 1, which is 5 in the case, will be checked within the range. If it is present in the given range, then the then the output of the program will be true, otherwise it is false. If it is in the range only, then we can say the output is true, then it is false. Okay, so here we can see it is true because it is in the given range. Now we will see use of range for loop. So we will see what is range function we can use for loop. We can use the range function in for loop to iterate through a sequence of a number. See, in this we can, I want to say range function is 10 to 20. 10 to 20 means 10 is my initial value and 20 is my final value. From this only I can write a program. So how I can do? Let's see. So write a program to print even numbers. Say I want to write a which number? Even number. So that's why I write 2 is my initial value and 20 is my final value. From 20 I have to go, and step value is 2 because the gap difference between them is 2 to 2 because it is even number. So 2 after comes not 3, 4 comes. So 2, 4, 6, 8, like this I have to move. So final, initial and step value should be there. Okay, so see, the programming is like this, then only it is true only. Okay, so whether it is when it is following this criteria, then only the programming can able to work properly. So now we will see while loop. What is while loop do? So it is very simple structure for loop. We use this loop structure when we don't know the number of times the loop is to be executed. See, while loop is for that. See, in for loop we know the number of times we have to execute. In while loop we do not know how many times we have to execute it. So this loops keep on executing the block of statement as long as it specifies the test conditions is evaluated to true for the loop of 4 parts. So these are the some 4 parts given below. Initialization, conditional, loop body, step value. These are the 4 things. We will see initialization. What's that? Initialization. So it is used to assign the value to the loop control variables. Okay. So it is initialization. Condition is that? Condition is this statements check whether the loop body will be further execute or not. This is the condition. Okay. So in the condition, if the value is executing properly, that means they are moving. Okay. Loop body, what does loop body do? loop body. So it contains a set of statements that are required to be repeated. So it is, we can call it is a set of statements that require. And step value, we already know step value means this statement update the value of loop control variable so that the final value is achieved and at the end loop terminates. So the step value is for that, so that's why we can able to reach the final value of it. So we need the step value for that. Okay, so this is the flow chart of loop value. The condition is there. If it is true, then it works, and if it is false, they can exit the loop. Okay, now this the syntax is this one. This is the body we have to use. So let's see the program number 4. So here write a program of 10 natural even numbers. So 10 natural even number you have to write. Okay, so here I want to write 10 natural numbers. See, it is mentioning like 1 to 10. Okay, because it is mentioning I want to see 1 more than 1 but less than 10 I want. Okay, these are the things. Now we can see, write a program of print a table number. See, I want a table here. I want a table. See, I can see the 5 table because I enter the input about this. Okay, so here I can write the table of 5 here by this thing. Okay, so that's all my dear learners for this class. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.